Can you imagine doing everything right for your health, only to find out it's quietly working against you? This video will show you why clean eating, strict exercise, and positivity at all costs might actually lead to fatigue, injury, and loneliness after 70. Many seniors are suffering in silence because they're following advice that no longer fits their stage of life. Stay tuned, because what you learn today could change how you care for yourself forever. Before we start, tell us where you're watching or listening from. If you find this helpful, hit the subscribe button, because tomorrow we have new special tips for you. Some things we believe are good for us might not be good anymore, especially when we get older. When we were younger, we were taught to eat less fat, walk more, stay busy all day, and never skip our routines. These things helped us feel strong and proud when we were in our 30s, 40s, and even 50s. But after 70, the same habits can start to wear us down instead of build us up. It's not because we did anything wrong. It's just because our bodies have changed. Our muscles don't grow the same way. Our hearts beat a little slower. Our skin gets thinner, our bones more fragile. And the fuel we once needed, like heavy exercise or strict food plans, can sometimes make us weaker instead of stronger. Let's talk about walking. Walking every day is good for many people, but some elders try to walk too far because they're afraid of getting lazy. They remember when 10,000 steps was a goal. But at 75, 85, or 90, that number doesn't always help. It can cause sore knees, aching hips, or tired feet that don't recover as fast. They push through the pain because they think pain is a sign of progress. But it's not. Sometimes it's a message from the body saying, please slow down. I need rest. But they ignore it because they still want to feel capable. That's not selfish. It's human. We all want to feel useful, even when we grow old. Then there's food. Many older people still avoid fat because they were told it clogs arteries and causes heart problems. But the truth is, the brain needs healthy fat, like from olive oil, nuts, or even butter, to stay sharp. Some elders cut out too much salt, even if their doctor says it's okay now, and they end up feeling dizzy or lightheaded. Some stop eating red meat completely, and slowly their muscles shrink, and they feel tired all the time. They think they're being good, but their bodies are crying out for balance. Not too much, not too little, just enough. Habits like waking up early, keeping busy every hour, and never resting during the day used to be called discipline. But now, these habits can become chains. A 78-year-old man wakes up at 5 a.m. every day because he always did. But now, he's tired by lunchtime, and he falls asleep in his chair. He feels guilty if he naps, like he's wasting time. But his body is just asking for peace. A 74-year-old woman won't skip her garden chores, even when her back hurts. She worries people will think she's lazy, so she pushes through. Then one day, she twists her hip and needs help walking. She cries in the hospital, not because of the pain, but because she thinks she failed. And then there's the idea that being strong means doing everything yourself. Older people often refuse help because they think it makes them look weak. They try to lift heavy grocery bags, climb ladders, or carry laundry baskets, even if it hurts. They want to prove they still got it. But real strength is knowing when to ask for a hand. It's not giving up, it's giving love to yourself. Yet many were raised to believe that asking for help is shameful. That idea is not only old, it's dangerous. The world today keeps shouting about health. Eat clean, move more, think positive. But it doesn't always whisper what matters most to someone over 70. Be kind to yourself. Listen to your body. Rest is not weakness. Gentle food is not bad. Slowing down is not failure. Wisdom is knowing the difference between pushing forward and pulling back. Elders carry a lifetime of stories, heartbreaks, lessons, and laughs. They've done enough proving. Now is the time for healing. That healing might not look like a morning jog or a bowl of raw salad. It might look like warm soup, soft socks, a slow walk with a cane, or a nap in the sun. That's still health. That's still life. If you're over 70 and feeling tired from all the rules you've been following, rules you followed because you thought they'd keep you strong, maybe it's time to make your own rules. You've earned that. Maybe you don't need to copy what the health magazines say. Maybe your body already knows what's best. After all, you've lived through more than most people ever will. And it's okay to say, this habit used to help me, but now it doesn't. I choose peace. It's brave to change. It's brave to let go. It's brave to say, I am not who I was, but I am still worthy of care. Sometimes the strongest people are the ones who stop and say, this no longer serves me. I deserve something gentler. The first step to better health after 70 is not adding more, but understanding what to let go of. Because when you let go of the old rules, you make space for a softer kind of strength to grow. And that kind of strength is quiet, wise, and exactly what older hearts need. But what happens when we don't let go? When we keep moving too much, thinking it makes us healthier? That's when the real danger can creep in. Moving your body is a beautiful thing. It helps you feel alive, it wakes up your heart, and it keeps your legs from getting stiff. But after a certain age, moving too much, especially the wrong way, can quietly hurt you, even if you're trying to do what's right. Many older people are told, don't sit still too long, or you have to move it or lose it. So they try hard. They walk around the block again and again. They stretch, bend, climb, and sweep. They do chair exercises, gardening, or even try a few yoga videos from the internet. They do this because they're afraid that slowing down means they're getting old. And getting old, to them, means losing control. But here's the quiet truth nobody says loud enough. Rest is just as important as movement, especially after 70. The body doesn't bounce back like it used to. The muscles get tired faster. The knees creak, the back stiffens, the ankles swell. And when you keep pushing through that, because someone told you it's good for you, it doesn't make you stronger. It wears you down. It's like pouring water into a cup with a crack in it. The water just leaks out little by little until you feel empty and tired and don't even know why. There's a man named Eric who is 81. Every morning, he walks 3 kilometers because his doctor told him years ago that walking is good for the heart. He never missed a day, rain or shine. But over time, he started feeling weaker, not stronger. His legs burned at night. His ankles swelled like balloons. He thought maybe he wasn't walking fast enough, so he walked faster. Then, one cold morning, he tripped over a small crack in the sidewalk. He broke his wrist and bruised his hip. In the hospital, the nurse told him, "You don't need to walk so far every day. A gentle walk, a few times a week, is more than enough now." Eric cried, not from pain, but because no one told him that before. He thought he was doing the right thing. Then there's Maria, who is 76. She used to be a dance teacher, so she tries to keep moving all day. She washes the dishes, cleans the floors, folds laundry, and even moves furniture when no one's watching. She thinks if she rests, her body will rust like an old car. But lately, she's been feeling dizzy. Her back hurts in the mornings. Her knees lock when she kneels. One day, her daughter says, "Mom, why don't you take a break?" But Maria shrugs and says, "If I stop now, I'll fall apart." That's what many elders fear, that slowing down means giving up. But it doesn't. Slowing down means honoring what your body truly needs. Older bodies are like soft, beautiful gardens. If you water them gently, they bloom. If you stomp around too much, the flowers get crushed. And just like plants need sunlight and shade, people need both movement and stillness. That means resting without guilt. That means saying, "I've done enough today." That means sitting in the sun, sipping tea, and letting the world pass by for a little while. Some elders feel ashamed when they can't do what they used to. They remember when they could climb stairs 2 at a time, carry groceries without help, or kneel down to play with grandchildren. They think stopping means weakness. But that's not true. Wisdom means knowing when to pause. It means stretching slowly instead of fast, walking gently instead of far, doing movements that feel soft, not sharp. If your body aches for more than a day after exercise, that's not a win, that's a warning. There are gentle exercises made just for elders, slow tai chi, chair yoga, or even simple stretches in bed. These don't hurt the joints or strain the heart. They help the body stay loose, not sore. But many people ignore them because they seem too easy. In truth, the easy things are often the smartest things. You don't need to sweat to grow stronger at this age. You need to breathe, to relax, to listen. Resting is not doing nothing. It's healing. When you sleep, your cells repair themselves. When you lie down with your feet up, your heart takes a break. When you nap after lunch, your brain clears out old thoughts. Rest is how the body whispers, "Thank you." But too many older people try to prove something. They fear becoming a burden. They think they must keep going to stay valuable. But the truth is, they're already valuable, even when they're still. You don't have to earn your rest. You already did. Raising kids, working jobs, fixing broken things, helping others, that was all movement. Now is the season for something softer. It's not quitting. It's growing in a new direction. Like trees in autumn, shedding leaves doesn't mean dying. It means preparing for another kind of beauty. And if someone tells you, "Keep pushing, no pain, no gain," you can smile and say, "Not at my age." At your age, the goal is not pushing. The goal is peace. Your heart has worked hard for many decades. Now it wants rhythm, not race. Your legs have walked miles across time. Now they want kindness. Health after 70 is not a competition. It's a conversation between you and your body. And the best thing you can say is, I'm listening. So the next time you feel guilty for sitting still or skipping your walk, remember, stillness is part of health. Not less than, not a failure, just a different kind of care. And maybe, in that stillness, you'll discover something else too, like how food, even the healthy kind, can carry its own hidden dangers when not chosen with care. Eating healthy sounds like a good idea, and for many years, it is. We hear so much about clean eating, like skipping sugar, cutting fat, saying no to salt, and eating more raw vegetables and less red meat. These rules are shared in magazines, on TV, and even by well-meaning doctors. So many older people follow them closely, thinking it will keep their hearts strong, their weight low, and their bodies young. But what if those same rules that once helped now hurt? What if clean eating becomes too clean, too strict, too empty for a body that needs more warmth and comfort than before? There's something important most people don't talk about. After 70, the body needs different things than it did at 40. The stomach becomes more sensitive. The bones need more calcium. The brain craves healthy fats. The skin needs hydration, and the muscles need protein to stay alive. But instead of listening to their bodies, many older adults keep following old food rules. They fear eating eggs because they once heard it raises cholesterol. They avoid butter, thinking it's bad for their heart. They stop salting their food, even if their blood pressure is now low. They cut out red meat entirely and try to live on salad and toast. They mean well. They want to live long. But slowly, without knowing it, their strength fades. Their faces lose color. Their eyes dim. Their energy disappears like smoke in the air. Let's think about Anna. She's 79 and proud of her clean diet. She hasn't eaten sugar in 20 years. She eats low-fat yogurt, only drinks skim milk, and won't touch a slice of bread unless it's whole grain. She feels strong about her choices, but lately, she feels dizzy when she stands. Her hair is thinning, and her hands are always cold. Her daughter takes her to the doctor, who says, Anna, you're not getting enough fat. Your brain needs it. Your heart too. But Anna shakes her head. She says, fat is bad. The doctor says gently, at your age, some fat is good. It helps you think clearly, stay warm, and feel full. Anna looks confused. She thought she was doing everything right. But her body tells a different story. And then there's Sigurd, 83. He stopped eating red meat 10 years ago after reading it causes cancer. Now, he mostly eats rice, bananas, crackers, and soup. He gets full, but he's always tired. His arms feel weak when he tries to lift things. His legs shake when he stands too long. One day, he falls in the kitchen. At the hospital, they check his blood. He's very low on iron and vitamin B12, things we mostly get from meat. The nurse says, you need more protein, Sigurd. Maybe some beef stew or eggs. But Sigurd frowns. I thought meat was dangerous. She smiles kindly. Too much can be, but too little can be worse. Older people often fear salt too. They remember doctors telling them, cut back on sodium. But if their blood pressure is low, or if they sweat a lot in summer, not having enough salt can make them faint. Salt helps the nerves and muscles talk to each other. Without it, things get foggy. Even sugar, which gets such a bad name, isn't always the enemy. A little honey in tea can comfort the soul. A sweet piece of cake at a birthday party can remind someone of joy. Food isn't just fuel. It's memory, warmth, and care. There's also the danger of eating too little. Some elders don't feel hungry. Others skip meals to stay slim. But their body still needs vitamins, even if their appetite is small. If they eat the same 2 or 3 things every day, their body misses out. Without enough variety, fruits, vegetables, grains, proteins, and fats, the body quietly starts to shrink. The immune system weakens. Cuts take longer to heal. Thinking becomes cloudy. But because this happens slowly, people don't always notice until something breaks. And when food becomes too much about fear of fat, sugar, salt, or carbs, it can make people anxious. They eat with worry instead of joy. They stare at labels and skip their favorite foods, even when those foods bring comfort. That stress also hurts the body. It raises cortisol, the stress hormone, and makes digestion harder. Eating should be a moment of peace, not punishment. It's okay to enjoy a warm bowl of oatmeal with butter. It's okay to sip broth with a pinch of salt. It's okay to eat soft cheese or a slice of roast chicken. Balance is the secret, not perfection. Some days, soup and toast is enough. Other days, your body may ask for more. Listening is the key. Asking, "What will help me feel strong today?" is a better question than "What does the latest diet say?" Sometimes, elders forget how to enjoy food. They eat alone, in silence, not tasting the meal. But when food is shared with family, with a neighbor, with laughter, it turns into medicine. Not just for the body, but for the heart. Food brings people together. It tells stories, brings memories, and lights up old parts of the brain that may be fading. Even so, many elders feel nervous about changing their diet. They've done things one way for so long. They fear doing it wrong. But health after 70 is not about doing it perfectly. It's about doing it kindly. It's about giving your body what it really needs, not what the world says is trendy. A 30-year-old might thrive on green juice and fasting. A 75-year-old might thrive on scrambled eggs and soft toast with jam. And both are okay. So the next time you make a meal, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, is this meal helping me feel loved? Am I feeding myself with care, not fear? You deserve that care. You deserve warm meals, happy tastes, and strength in every bite. Because food should help you live, not make you afraid of living. And when food becomes too strict and movement too constant, it can also lead to something else many elders hide. The silent pressure to always appear strong, no matter how tired or lonely they may feel inside. Being strong isn't always about muscles. Sometimes it's about keeping your chin up, smiling when you're sad, or pretending everything is okay when it's not. That's what many older people try to do. They were raised in a time when talking about feelings wasn't normal. They were taught to be tough, to not cry, to never complain. They grew up through war, loss, hardship, and hard work. And they learned to carry pain quietly. That made them brave, yes. But sometimes that kind of strength becomes too heavy. Today, many elders feel pressure to stay positive all the time. They hear things like, "Just be thankful," or "You're lucky to still be here." These words are kind, but they can also make someone feel ashamed for feeling sad or scared. When an 82-year-old wakes up feeling empty inside, she doesn't want to worry her family. So she puts on a smile, even though her heart feels lonely. When a 75-year-old man misses his wife who passed away, he tells himself to be strong, even when he really just needs to cry. Over time, all those held-in feelings stack up like bricks inside the chest. It's like carrying a heavy backpack day after day. No one can see it, but it's there. It makes your back hurt, your shoulders tight, and your mind tired. People say you're doing great, but they don't know how much effort it takes just to get out of bed, to pretend to be okay. And the more you pretend, the lonelier it gets. Because no one can help if they don't know you're hurting. There's a woman named Greth, 86 years old. She used to be the heart of her family. She baked for everyone, remembered every birthday, and smiled through every storm. But after her husband died, the house got quiet. Too quiet. She missed the sound of his slippers on the floor, the way he stirred his tea. But every time someone called to check on her, she'd say, "I'm fine, dear," because she didn't want to be a burden. She didn't want to bring people down. So she kept wearing her lipstick and baking her pies, even though sometimes she ate them alone with tears in her eyes. And there's Olav, who is 80. He used to fix everything: cars, broken fences, people's problems. He was the one others leaned on. But now his hands shake when he holds tools, and he struggles to remember what day it is. He laughs it off, calls it old brain. But deep down, he's scared. He's afraid of losing himself. But he won't talk about it, because he's the strong one. And strong ones don't ask for help, right? That's what he believes, even when that belief is hurting him. The truth is, it takes more courage to say, "I'm not okay," than to pretend everything is fine. Tears are not weakness. They are water for the soul. But many older people have been told all their lives to keep it together, to smile through the storm. That's a heavy way to live. And it can lead to sadness that hides deep inside, where no one can reach it. This sadness doesn't always look like crying. Sometimes it looks like silence. Sometimes it looks like someone turning down an invitation, or someone saying, "I'm just tired," when really, they feel invisible. Being positive is good, but not when it becomes a mask. Real strength means telling the truth. It means saying, "I feel lonely today," or "I'm scared about the future," or "I wish someone would hold my hand." These are soft words, but they are powerful. And when spoken out loud, they create space for healing. Because when we speak our truth, we give others permission to love us deeper. Older people have seen so much: births, deaths, wars, joys, and heartbreaks. They carry a library of memories. But even libraries need someone to dust the shelves and turn the lights on. Even the strongest trees need water and sunshine. And even the wisest people need a place to rest their feelings. No one should have to carry everything alone. It's okay to miss someone. It's okay to feel lost sometimes. It's okay to not be okay. Feelings are part of being human. They don't disappear just because we age. And they don't make us weak. In fact, allowing them makes us stronger. There's a kind of strength in softness, a kind of bravery in being real. So if you feel pressure to always be cheerful, take a breath. You're allowed to feel tired. You're allowed to feel afraid. You're allowed to need a hug, a hand, a quiet talk in the afternoon. These needs don't make you needy. They make you alive. And being alive means feeling the whole rainbow of life. Not just the sunshine, but also the rain. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is look in the mirror and say, "It's okay, dear heart. You've done enough. You don't have to pretend today." That's the kind of love that heals. That's the kind of strength that lasts. And when we start listening not just to the rules or the pressure to stay positive, but to our own body, our own soul, our quiet inner wisdom, something magical begins to happen. Sometimes, the smartest voice isn't the one on the TV or in the doctor's office. It's the one inside your chest, the soft voice, the quiet whisper, the one that says, "That's enough for today," or "I need a little more sleep," or "That food doesn't sit right with me anymore." When you're young, you learn to follow rules. Eat this, do that, go here, work hard, don't stop. But when you get older, there's a new kind of wisdom waiting for you. The wisdom of listening. Not to everyone else, but to yourself. Your body is always talking to you. It says things in little ways, like when your knees ache after a long walk, or when you feel sleepy in the afternoon, or when your stomach grumbles, not because you're hungry, but because something didn't agree with you. These are messages, not mistakes, but many elders ignore them, thinking, "I'm just getting old," or "I shouldn't be lazy," or "I should be grateful I can still move." So they keep pushing, keep obeying the old rules, even when those rules no longer fit the life they're living now. There's something beautiful about letting go of old rules. It's like taking off a tight pair of shoes after a long day. It feels like freedom. It feels like kindness. Imagine an 84-year-old woman named Sigrid. She used to wake at 6 a.m. every day, do her morning stretches, and eat the same dry toast and tea. That routine worked for her in her 50s. But now, she feels dizzy in the mornings. Her legs are stiff. Her belly feels empty. For a while, she blamed herself. She thought, "I must be doing something wrong." But one day, she slept in until 8. She had a bowl of porridge instead of toast. And she felt better. Not younger, just better. That's what listening looks like. Listening means paying attention to what your body truly needs, not what a book says it should need. Maybe your body wants a nap after lunch. Maybe it craves soft food instead of crunchy salads. Maybe it wants music instead of silence, or quiet instead of noise. Listening means asking yourself, "How do I feel?" and trusting the answer, even if it doesn't match what others expect. Some elders feel guilty when they rest. Others feel confused when their appetite changes. But change is not failure. It's nature. Just like trees lose their leaves and fall, our bodies shed old habits in older age. You're not broken. You're just shifting. And with every shift comes a chance to discover something new about yourself. What brings you peace? What brings you comfort? What brings you home? Listening also means noticing your emotions. If you feel anxious every time you go to a crowded store, maybe your body is saying, "I'd rather stay home today." If your chest feels heavy when you talk about something, maybe it's time to rest your heart, not just your feet. If your smile feels forced, maybe your soul is asking for quiet instead of company. These aren't bad signs. They're just signals, and they matter. There's a man named Harold. He's 87 and used to be an athlete. He still tries to do his stretches every morning, even though his shoulders hurt. He grits his teeth and says, pain is part of the deal. But deep down, his body is begging for something gentler. One day, a friend invites him to try Tai Chi in the park. It's slow, gentle, flowing. At first, Harold laughs. "That's too easy," he says. But he tries it, and for the first time in months, he sleeps through the night. His joints feel loose. His heart feels light. Not because he worked harder, but because he finally listened. The world will always offer advice. Magazines will give tips. Experts will make charts. But no one knows your body like you do. Not even the smartest doctor can feel what you feel. And when you start trusting your own wisdom, things begin to change. You don't need to explain your choices to anyone. You don't need permission to rest, to eat something different, to say no to plans. Listening means honoring yourself, and honoring yourself means healing. Some days you'll feel strong, other days soft, some days full of energy, others slower. That's normal. That's life. And the more you let your body lead, the more joy you'll find. You may notice small things, the way your fingers feel when they touch warm tea, the way sunlight hits your favorite chair, the calm that comes from just breathing slowly. These are gifts. You don't need big routines or perfect habits to be healthy. You need awareness. You need softness. You need love for yourself from yourself. So instead of saying, I should be doing more, try saying, I am doing enough. Instead of forcing yourself to follow a plan, try asking, what would feel kind right now? Instead of pushing through the pain, try asking, is this a day to rest? You followed rules all your life. Now it's time to follow something deeper, your own rhythm. And in this gentle rhythm, in this quiet listening, something precious blooms, an unshakable peace that whispers, I am okay just as I am. Not because you did everything right, but because you finally let go of needing to. And now, as the sun begins to set on this journey, let's gather all these lessons into one soft, wise breath, the kind that wraps around your heart like a warm blanket and reminds you what true health really means. Sometimes, the things that once helped us become the very things that start to harm us, quietly, softly, without warning. We spent our younger years chasing strength, chasing health, chasing perfection. We followed rules about food, movement, behavior, and mindset because we believed they would keep us safe. And for a time, they did. But after 70, the story changes. The body softens, the spirit quiets, and the old rules? They don't always fit anymore. This story wasn't written to scare you. It was written to free you. Free you from the guilt of slowing down. Free you from the shame of saying no. Free you from the pressure of staying strong when your heart just wants to rest. You spent a lifetime giving, building, surviving. Now is the time for receiving, for healing, for peace. Real health after 70 doesn't come from pushing harder. It comes from listening closer. It doesn't come from perfect diets or long walks or endless routines. It comes from knowing when enough is enough and loving yourself anyway. You're not lazy if you rest. You're not weak if you ask for help. You are not failing if you eat what comforts you. You are not broken if your emotions overflow. You are wise. You are seasoned. You are still here, and that is more than enough. So if anyone ever tells you what you should be doing to stay healthy, pause and ask yourself, is this helping me feel whole, or is it stealing my joy? Because your joy matters. Your comfort matters. Your truth matters. You don't need to follow every rule to stay alive. You need to follow your own rhythm to stay well. And the greatest wisdom of all, the one no one can teach and no book can explain, is learning to trust the beautiful, aging voice within you. That voice is your guide now. That voice is your medicine. That voice is your wisdom. And it knows you're already doing better than you think. On your screen, you see 2 new videos that I'm sure you'll find helpful. Just decide what you want to see and click.